Welcome to the Ladies Lounge.
Welcome. I'm your homegirl, Carmen.
And I'm your girl, Lena.
And we got a little different setup today. You see us, upgrading a little bit. So this is crazy because it's the first time I'm actually going to be doing the show standing up. But I think I needed it because, girl, I sit down all day with me being on air and being quarantined. So, yeah, I definitely need this little setup, but this isn't going to be staying this way. So we are now actually in the works of actually being the same studio. I know we've been saying this forever. We've been teasing it, and then eventually we're like, let's just shut the fuck up until we actually get some shit. So we actually have something on the way. So we will start doing the podcast in the same building, which should be better audio and better video. And hopefully if not the next episode, the following one for sure, we will be in the same building. So, talk to us, Angie. What you been up to?
So let's catch the people up on our adventure on Sunday when we went to do a sip and paint. That was pretty.
You were adventurous.
I was definitely late. Well, it always happens, when you're like, I'm just going to drink a little bit, I'm not even going to get that lit. Well, 3 bottles of champagne later. So it was us and 2 of my girls that I've known for years. One of them I went to high school with. My other girl I've known for like 15 plus years. So, and of course, having you there, like it was like the cherry on top. So we already do this together. So I just wanted to see, like, let's see if Carmen's gonna be able to hang with us.
The thing about me is I already like rarely drink. So like I don't drink much. And as soon as I got in the car, your girl passed me a drink and I was like, okay, it's that kind of party. Okay. So yeah, needless to say, we were lit. I don't even want to show my painting. Oh my God. Should I show my painting?
I'm not showing mine. My shit looks like a flying cockroach.
No,
it's supposed to be a bee. It's supposed to be a bee sniffing a flower. Mine looks like a roach sniffing a like dandelion. Like it just looks pretty bad.
I think yours and like ours is the same, but then I noticed and I realized this. I was like, because I was looking at our pictures after, I was like, why the fuck does Angie's and mine look the same so much? Yo ass was probably looking at my fucking picture to see if I was what I was doing. And you're like, okay, let me add some here. And then here's what I was doing. My dumb ass wasn't even looking at the instructor's photo. I was looking at the girl that was sitting like 2 tables away from us because her shit looked good. And I'm looking at it and then I realized, oh my God, it's like way different than the main one. So yours and mine, this is what happens when you copy. You're not supposed to copy when you're painting. You're supposed to go by the instructor's rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, our photos are not cute, but we definitely had fun. We had it was a frozen beverage. Was it wine or was it champagne?
I think yours was wine.
It was good.
Yeah, I think yours was wine. And then we had the like mango peach champagne. And then they had cupcakes, and the cupcakes were like churro and I forgot what other flavor, but they were bomb.
Girl, and then, I don't know why I took so many because I actually just threw one away yesterday. I was like, girl, what was I thinking? I brought home like 3 of them. I said free. I was like, it's for me. Okay. And I got too many.
Yeah. And then you decided to order some pizza. So we were like, okay, let's go get some pizza after this. And by the way, we did have some, what do you call them? Oh my gosh, why am I blanking out right now? So we had somebody drive us, basically. We were good.
Oh yeah. So. We had a designated driver. So don't come for us, please. I swear we were doing our best. Yes. But we actually, this is how, like, we were sloppy and it actually took not even an hour and a half to get that way. So we were downing drinks. Her friend, by the way, both of your friends, because it's crazy when it comes to like friendships, you sometimes don't want to bring certain friends around certain people. And you realize like there's a certain vibe or a certain like, you just don't want to mix, and certain friends wouldn't mix, which is crazy if you think about it, because how is it that we could all be friends and yet some of them wouldn't get along? It's a trip.
Right.
But these girls, somehow you were like, they probably get along with Carmen. So you brought them along. And from the get, I just thought they were hella cool. Like I said, they served me drink as soon as I came in. So I had to reward them with pizza. Plus, I realized that they were litty like a titty. So I was like, maybe if I order pizza. So literally the designated driver took us to go pick up the pizza. And then we ate it. By the time we got home, there was like literally no pizza left. We fucked up one whole pizza with just us 3 or 4. It was, but it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. And then by the time we got back home, my girl, I'm just gonna put it out there. So my girl Letty, she's like my sis, and everybody always confuses us confuses us for each other because everyone's always said that we looked alike, right? So anyway, so she hasn't been out in a long time. Basically, we're all moms just having a good time, on a regular Sunday fun day, and she decides to drink a little bit too much, and then we mixed it with the cupcakes. So as we pull up to her place, she's like, oh man, I'm not feeling good. We open her door and she's like doing the when a cat like smells something that they don't like and they're like
yeah
it's like, oh no, get out my car. So she gets out, she starts throwing up in front of her yard, like in her lawn. And I'm pretty sure the neighbors saw. So they were probably like, what the hell happened? Because we left giggling, having a good time. And then we come back and she's like throwing on the lawn,
When you told me, I was like, damn, like I knew she was lit. I actually thought, damn, this girl's like hella fun. Like she's like super down to earth, like super cool, seemed very. And then I thought, man, she's responsible too. She didn't want to puff. And I was like, okay, she's a responsible one. Kind of find out she was lit. So yeah, she definitely has a way of like being able to manage not showing that she's lit. So when you told me she threw up, I was like, oh shit, because I did not expect that. But then if you think about it, you guys were actually drinking before you even picked me up. So by that time, yeah, it was go time. But the cool thing about it is though, I thought that I was giving you guys food so you could sober up. The fucked up part is when you open the windows, which I noticed you guys left with the window down.
I don't remember that.
Oh, see? So when you open the window, the wind actually hits you. Remember I was saying on the way home, I was like, why the fuck did we have the windows closed? Like it feels good. That's a major mistake. You're actually not supposed to, when you're drunk, you're not supposed to have the wind hit you because that's when you vomit. And I think
honestly, I don't remember. Like, I don't remember. Oh, I do remember we went to go pick up the pizza and I was trying to pay and you wouldn't let me pay. And I remember stumbling to the bathroom. And then I briefly remember dropping you off at home.
Yeah.
And then from there, like by the time we got to my girl's house, it was a good like 45-minute drive.
Girl, you were lit. How do you not remember dropping me off?
There's parts of Sunday that I do not remember. But I will say, just like it, well, I'm used to it because obviously we've been friends for years. So I know that anytime we go out, somebody's going to recognize you. Somebody's going to ask for some pictures. And so when we're standing there, some listeners like recognized you.
Yeah.
Of course, we started taking pictures with you. And my girls were like, hey, let's go drink. Like they were so ready to like,
drink. You know what? That was the first time in a long time that I actually like got out to drink, to do like some adulting. And two, like the first time in a minute that I've actually had seen any of my listeners, any of my supporters, because literally the lockdown, and I'm still working from home. Like I have not seen anyone. So even that was kind of weird. Not weird in a bad way. I'll tell you what, I feel like now that the world is opening up, I'm getting like social anxiety. Like I'm in the public eye. I have been doing this forever, but I feel like a little nervous. So like, I don't know if you guys noticed it. Hopefully it didn't show, but when they were like, let's take photos, like, we listen to you all the time. I got so nervous and I felt like, I don't know. I felt like a newbie. I don't know. It just felt weird. And not, and again, not in a bad way. I just feel like, am I getting social anxiety? Because like, this is a weird feeling. So yeah, it had been a long time. Again, I feel by the time the world is open again, I'm probably going to be shy, like to be in front of an audience, all of that is going to be weird. A whole year and a half just being like at home. It's crazy. It's a big difference, but
yeah. But overall, they were super sweet, and it was really cool to just. And first off, they weren't gonna recognize you because we had our mask on, but we had briefly taken it off for pictures, and then that's when they recognized you.
Yeah.
And, so I was like, "Bitch, put your mask back on so we can have a regular good time."
I know, no, but then we did. We ended up going to do some. I think it's like a wine tasting place, and that's when we had the frozen drinks and stuff. But it was so much fun, man. Like it's crazy as the world starts to open up. You start to like feel that like excitement again to do new things, Did you end up getting I forgot to ask you because I know you like Bad Bunny. Did you end up getting Bad Bunny tickets? Because I know everybody's trying to get them.
girl, if I get those expensive tickets, I need him to come down and eat my ass. Like,
No.
no, I'm
Well,
not
that's
paying
the
that
thing
much
though.
money.
It's not him. It's the fucking scalpers that get everybody. And so they end up having to be resold. And that's what
Right.
fucks everyone up.
No, he
Yeah.
needs to come down and suck my toes and
He
braid
needs,
my hair.
he need to suck your farts at that point, man. You're going to have me pay how much? What you going to do
No.
for me? No, but that's one concert I really want to go to. But yeah, like I said, man, as we start to like open up again, it's like we're gonna have a lot more adventures. Let's just say that.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. And we gotta bring some of our listeners because it's gonna be hype.
Yes, like I definitely want to do because you know most people do like blind dates when people they want to hook up with or whatever. I feel like a blind date with one of our or a few of our listeners, supporters, where we end up meeting at like a wine house or something, that would be so dope. Like,
That
you
would
know, you
be.
just get to like hang out with these people. And then also they know us more than we know them. So for
Right.
us, it would be new to get to know the type of listeners that we have, you know, because this is a new experience for us. Like, okay, I do radio and stuff. And so with me, when I meet my listeners from on air, it's cool. Like it's a different experience and they feel like they know me, but this is a different audience, you know, where
Is
two homegirls really just jump on a mic and talk shit, talk about everyday life situations, whether it's, like I said, divorces, fucking friendships, relationships, whatever. And so, yeah, it would be cool to get to know like people.
yeah, I'd be down for
support us.
Sure.
So today we want to talk about cheaters because, well, shit, we've all dealt with one at some point. Hopefully you guys didn't, but you know, to be honest, we both have been through some shit. And I was talking to Angie about this. We went to Trader Joe's, by the way. We're gonna start doing like a little Trader Joe haul every time we go because we end up like we shop, yes, but like it's an experience at Trader Joe's. Okay.
Fun.
Yeah, we be having fun. So we're talking about like the whole cheating. I don't know how the topic came up, but we're like, we should talk about that. And then you're like, you should talk about the time you caught your ex cheating. And I was like, I have not relived that. I have not thought about that in so long, but that's a good idea. So this is going to be the first time I actually ever tell this story. No, I've told this story before. This will be the first time I tell a story completely with all honesty. And the reason why is because I never wanted to be like that crazy bitch. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to sound like the crazy psycho girl or whatever. But obviously I've shown my true colors many times. So I can be a little bit crazy and I can be a little bit toxic. So disclaimer, I am a little bit crazy. Before you come at me, like I know what I am. Okay. But I will say, is it considered crazy when you're right though? No.
No.
Right?
I feel like if you suspect something, all rules are meant to be broken. So yeah.
So that's what it is. Okay. So a long time ago, I was dating someone. We kicked it off pretty good. I think it was like 2 years, maybe we dated for. Good relationship. I had fun. Everything, every part of that relationship was fun. You know, we both were entertainers. We enjoyed a lot of the same things. The only difference that we had was that I was a mom and he wasn't a parent yet. So that's the only thing. But other than that, like we just had fun and we would fucking drink a lot. We would go out a lot. We would just do fun shit all the time. Even the sex was good. Everything was good, right? However, when it got time to actually like get serious, like our relationship was getting more and more serious. I suspected something was going on because there was certain, you know, like you get the honeymoon stage where everything is fun. And normally that lasts like roughly a year, maybe 2 years, maybe a couple years in. So this was kind of early on that I noticed like certain things. I don't know. For women, we just feel certain things, right? We feel like something's not the same anymore. And either I just turned you off for whatever reason, or someone else has your attention. I really had no reason to suspect anything. Besides me feeling this way, I had nothing else to prove, like any proof of that or whatever. But it all started with he had given me his social media page. It was his Facebook page, I think it was. And the reason why he gave me his sign in for that was I think he wanted me to fix something on his Facebook. So it was like he was open about like, oh, hey, here's my password for this. And it was something else he had given it to me for. But anyway, so I never thought twice. Okay, he's giving me his Facebook. I never even thought like, oh, he's cheating on me or whatever. So when he gave it to me, it wasn't like, ooh, I'm gonna snoop around. I really didn't even care to because I'm like, I don't know. It just never popped in my mind. Also, I was very young and like naive. And so just never popped into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I started feeling, this is like fast forward to like months later, I think maybe a whole year later. And when I started feeling those things that, something's not adding up. He's like having more reasons to not hang out with me. I would spontaneously show up at his place, and then like I would take him lunch, take him dinner or whatever, or I would just show up and we'd kick it or whatever. Then it started becoming when those things were like he would have something to do or something came up. And I was like, so that's when I started having the feelings. Well, I remembered that password he had given me for Facebook, right? So I'm like, if he gave me his Facebook password, there's no way like something's gonna be in there.
Right.
But I know that the Facebook account has his email to log in. And that's when I knew to go and try that same password on his email.
Yep.
So I tried that. And by the way, I'm not that crazy because technically he gave it to me. You handed it over. Okay. You told on yourself. So he gave me that. And it just made me like, what if it's that same password? What if it's like it works? I was like, nah, I doubt it's going to work. Fucking clicked. Boom. It went in. I was like, oh my God, I'm in his emails. Yes. And mind you, at this point, like I have caught cheaters before, I have dealt with cheaters before, but I had never snooped in a cheater's emails. Like, I feel like that's a little more private and like, I don't know, I don't know. And then also I was younger too. So I don't know if when you were younger, do you remember like thinking of snooping through emails? No, probably not. That wasn't a thing. It's either text messages or like their MySpace in our younger days. You know what I'm saying? So did
I've
you?
always been crazy, girl. Yes. I've always
Okay.
I'll go through your mail. I'll go through yes, all of that.
Not
So
me. Like I never realized that an email is a place where they could possibly cheat or potentially cheat. I just feel like, why would you use an email when you would use this? Anyway, get to the point. So I went through his emails and I realized that some of his, is it AIM or whatever, like the chat conversations? Yeah, I think it was AIM. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was. I forgot. But anyway, where you can chit chat back and forth with someone, right? When you can actually save that conversation. So you either save it or you can send it to someone else. I realized he's had a few saved in there, but then I realized it was one of them that was actually sent out to a few of his friends. I go and snoop around and I'm like, why is he sending this conversation to, it was like 3 of his homies. I recognize the names that he said he had sent it to. That's what also caught my attention. I'm like, why would he send this conversation? So the first thing I thought was, oh my God, my sex pictures. I had sent him pictures before. I thought, oh my God, he forwarded my pictures. Like I didn't know what to think because I was like, this is just so weird that he's sending a whole conversation. And me and him didn't chat on that thing. I think we didn't. Not that I remember. Anyway, so I open it up and it's a conversation he's having with another female. And the conversation with this female, it was a girl that he had previously messed with, someone he actually really, really liked before him and I got serious. And he had told me about this girl, but like the girl was kind of like turning him off. Like she didn't want to deal with him or mess with him or whatever. They had messed around in the past, but the girl didn't want to have a relationship with him. That's what he had told me, right? So I noticed the name. I'm not going to say the name, but I noticed the name and I was like, oh my God, it's this girl. He was fucking sending it to his friends to show off that girl was trying to fuck with him again. And in that, he literally described everything he was going to do to her. She teased like, what would you do if I let you come over? He talked about the sexual acts he was going to do. He talked about bringing strawberries. She preferred a different type of fruit. I'm reading this like, furious because I'm like, oh my God, never in a million years did I think he was capable of cheating because I'm like, why? Just fucking tell me you don't want to be in a relationship anymore, right? Mind you, he was the one that pursued me so much so that I eventually was like, all right, let's give it a shot. Because remember, I told you I don't like dating entertainers, right? This is one of the fucking reasons why. Anyway, so in the conversation, he's talking about all this sexual stuff he's gonna do to her, and I'm like, oh my fucking gosh, like here I am fucking the shit out of him, and still it's not enough sex for him apparently, because he's so excited about this conversation he's having with her that he even sent it to a friend. Now I don't know if he actually got to meet up with her. I set him up so good. I don't even know how. I ended up like finding out different things. But anyway, so he never knew I checked his email. I forwarded that message to myself because I knew he was going to think that I am crazy for like looking through his email. And I don't even know why. Looking back at him, like, why the fuck do I care? He's cheating on me. So why do I care if he thinks I'm crazy or not? Right. So anyway, I sent it to myself and I was like, how can I tell him without telling him I went through his emails that I caught him? He's not going to admit to it. He's going to lie. He's going to lie his ass off. So what should I do? So when I sent it to myself, I then went back and I was like, I got it. I'm going to send it to several people so he doesn't think that it's just sent to me. Like, he doesn't think it's odd that it's just to me. Since he had sent it already to a few friends, I figure let me send it to a few other of his friends that didn't even have this. Who knows? Maybe he didn't want to share this information with certain people, but I sent it to myself and two other people. Mm-hmm. By the time I got it and like I blew up on him, I'm like, what the fuck did you just send me? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I just got a fucking email of you with some hoochie and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, what? No, you're tripping. What? No, like deny. So then he checks it, like he comes and we talk like in person or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he obviously he can't say shit about it, right? But started apologizing like that's not what it looks like. At first it was like, that's not what it looks like. You're tripping, blah, blah, blah. To this day, he believes he accidentally sent it to me. So fast forward years later, we actually became cool again. Cause when time passes and like you move on from liking someone, I don't know if this happens with you too, but with me, when I'm done and I like move on with someone else, I can give a fuck about you like moving on with someone else, or if you ended up with the same girl you were cheating on me with, I don't even care at this point. Cause again, it was like 2 years into our relationship. So technically it's not like we were madly in love and we were about to have babies, and, so it wasn't that deep. But fast forward to we became cool again. We ended up working together on several occasions, and we were like, hey, you know what? Let's just put, the past in the past, whatever. Let's move forward. We had that conversation about that. I'm like, dude, I can't believe like you really fucking played me. He's like, you know what? I just want to apologize to you because not only am I fucking dumb. So he started shitting on himself. He's like, not only am I fucking dumb for sending you that conversation. You didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's fucked up of me. I still like am tripping how stupid I was. Like, why would I send it to you? I just don't, he's like, I don't understand. He even called like AT&T to be like, what happened? Because I didn't send this. And he's like, forever, I kid you not, Carmen, forever I tried to figure out why or how I sent you that. And I just think it was God. He's like, it was God teaching me a lesson, teaching me to be better. So this whole time he thinks God is the one that like led this to happen, or like, I don't know, maybe it did make him a better person. Maybe it made him realize like not to be a fucking cheater, or not to be a dumbass, or to not commit to someone if you're not gonna be able to be serious. Right. So this is decades later. And to this day, I had never opened up about this to anyone. I think you and one other person knows. Yeah. You and one other person knows that I was the one that actually sent that to myself. And if he probably is going to listen, maybe he's not, but if he hears this, I'll let you guys know if he ends up hitting me up. But basically to this day, I never told him that it was actually me that sent it to myself. I always like made him believe that. And I think it's because I didn't want him to think, to this day, I didn't want him to think that I was crazy. And I also didn't want him to think I was that type of girl that cared enough to like look through his shit. But little does he know, I'm like, dumbass, you had the same password for your Facebook as you did for your email. Like, you told on yourself. So yeah, that's one of the ways that I caught him. And then like years later, like we ended up seeing each other again at the club, and he was like drunk one night and was telling me, and by the way, we became such good friends. Like such good friends. Like I relied on him. He relied on me when it came to certain things. And we were like this just as friends. Right. And we never like went back to revisit trying to smash again or anything like that. When I saw him at the club one time, he was hella drunk, and he revealed to me that he was like, man, honestly, like I've always felt like I lost something good when I lost you, like blah, blah, blah. Like I should have just made it work, and I should have kissed your ass instead. Cause he became rebellious. He became like, well, like you were doing things that you shouldn't be doing either. Like he tried to like flip it on me. So when he tried to like apologize and like tell me like he lost a good thing, and he's probably never gonna find something good, he told me all of that, and I'm just like, man, should I tell him? Nope. Never told him. So I never told him that I was actually me that checked his email. But hey, it worked, and I caught his ass. So ladies, check the emails. You've been checking emails apparently for a minute.
I have definitely checked emails, but so like you, I took the password that I was given. So I would help him out with his homework. And he had like online classes. So I had used that password that I would use to log into his school stuff to log into his Facebook. So I logged into his Facebook and then I found messages between him and his ex. And I was like,
Through
I
his
was done.
Facebook? Oh, because on
So
Facebook there's a you can have conversations, right? Like
yes,
like
so
a
I'm
chat.
like,
Okay.
right, like Messenger.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically back then, it was just like a regular, just like it is now, like a DM, basically. That's
Right,
what
right.
it was. So I log in, I use his password for his school stuff to log into his Facebook.
Idiot.
Like you, I was so surprised that it actually worked. And I was like,
Oh shit.
when you have that moment of like,
I mean.
it worked. And so I'm like going through all his shit. And sure enough, the first thing, how you're like low key scared, like I may find some shit here. And I don't,
Yes.
yeah. And you don't know, like, I will say this, ladies, if you're going to dig for something, even guys, if you're going to dig for something, my brother gave me the best advice ever. He said, the only thing you're going to find when you dig in the garbage is trash. So there I was digging in the garbage. I was like, let me see what's in here. And sure enough, it was like one of the first messages. So he had just talked to her. So here I am doing his homework while he's over there talking to his ex.
Motherfucker.
And yeah, so I was like, I broke up with him and I was like, I'm good. And he begged and sent flowers and did all. Long story short, I ended up staying with him for another 2 years. And
it's
yeah.
don't you hate that it's like you went through all this and I'm like, oh yeah, Angie came out on top. No, 2 years later.
Oh, 2 years later,
2 years.
He broke up with me the night before my 30th birthday via text. I had been with this guy for 2.5 years for him to break up with me via text. And the whole time there was another chick and probably some more. And there's rumors about some other stuff that I will not mention, but I will say he was definitely doing me wrong and he knows it.
So I got to know what made you stay even though you had like clearly caught him in the act and you had also noticed that it had just happened, like it was so fresh. Like what could he have possibly said to make you stay?
De pendeja, that's what it was. I was just being dumb. Like looking back now, I could have easily left the situation 6 months into it and been like, deuces, I'm out. But it was just, I didn't want to be by myself. This was like the relationship that I had gotten into right after I had left my daughter's dad. So I just didn't want to be by myself. And really it was him doing everything that I thought, okay, he won't do it again. He learned his lesson. Like I thought by giving him the little like silent treatment for a little bit. All right, well, because I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think cheating is the worst thing a guy can do. It's not the absolute worst, but I'm willing to forgive if you've learned your damn lesson and don't do that shit again. So that's what I did. I was like, you know what? Let me give him another chance. He seems like a good guy. And what did I do? I just gave him another chance to hurt me even worse.
That motherfucker. So not only did you fucking allow him to like, all right, you can make it up and then we can make it work again. But like the fact that he left you, like after you dealt with that shit, like after you had to deal with picking yourself up and building up, like, but listen, you're not alone. We've all been there, done that. And you're right. I think what cheating, first of all, when she says, and I don't know if I'm speaking for you or correct me if I'm wrong, but when you say cheating is not the worst thing, you mean it's absolutely the wrong thing to do. It's absolutely not acceptable. And you're absolutely not okay with having open relationships or allowing your man to be fucking other bitches while you're fucking with him.
Exactly.
But you're saying that to say that obviously things like abuse and fucking mental and physical abuse can happen and other shit like that. Okay. So that's what I just want to clarify, because then you'll have someone come for you talking about, so you're saying it's okay for a man to cheat, and you must be okay with open relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not. No, I just want to, because I think a lot of times women cheat too. So let's keep it real, because let's keep it funky. I have cheated too. Okay. And I was really good at it.
Wait. Speak on that, because I didn't know you cheated.
Yeah.
Have you told me? I don't think you've ever told me.
Well, this was like a relationship. I guess we were technically broken up, but we were still like seeing each other. And at the time, mind you, I was really young. I'm talking 17.
Okay.
I was really young.
So you did a tit for tat type of thing. He was cheating on you, so you cheated on him back.
I don't know if he had cheated. I think at that time, because we weren't technically together, I was more like, well, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. And I think we had been together for, our high school years, that I didn't want to let him go and he didn't want to let me go. So I think we both kind of knew we were doing our own thing, but basically we ended up going to the guy's house that I was dealing with, because he had a mutual friend with that guy. So God, I hope he never hears this. So basically we end up going to this guy's house and I'm like, why are we here? And he's like, oh, because my boy said we're all going to meet here and we're going to leave from here. And I was like, oh my God.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I walk in there and I see the guy and I was like, can I use the bathroom real quick? Because I was so nervous.
Hell yeah.
Tell me why I started heading towards the bathroom without him telling me. And so like I already knew where the bathroom was. So I was like, can I use your bathroom? And he's like, sure. So I walked to the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Where it was. So then my ex was like, later on, he was like, how did you know where the bathroom was? I was like, I mean, I've been here before. I mean, yeah. So I almost got caught because I basically almost told him myself, so
anyway, so told on yourself. You said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Bitch, do you want to tell me where his kitchen's at too? Because you seem to know. You seem to know where his place. Man,
his room's right there, and his So I was wrong for that. Yeah. So again, long time ago, and that was a really sticky situation because I didn't want to let go of the guy that I was with, because we had been together for 2 years at that point. And I think it was a mutual thing. We were just, scared to like leave each other alone. And there was like rumors that he was messing with one of my friends. So it was one of those things where it was toxic. But again, this was that young love. And it was like, I ain't going nowhere. And trust me, there's grown adults doing this right now as we speak, where they're like, I ain't going nowhere, you ain't going nowhere, but do your own thing, So
I could never deal with something like that now. Have I been cheated? Fuck yeah. Have I forgave? Fuck yeah. And am I happy, proud about that? Hell no. Like, no woman is proud of admitting that they, forgave a cheater. And as a matter of fact, that's the one thing about being open or being in this platform, to allow yourself to be vulnerable and talk about things like this, like the fact that you cheated in the past and you fucking hate cheaters now. Someone can easily come for you and be like, well, bitch, you've cheated before. But the beautiful thing about growth is that when you recognize it and you live and learn from that, you become a better person. Not everyone can do that, you know what I'm saying? But you become a better person and you know how to deal with better. Like if my man tried it again, I done told you already what I would do. What was I saying? Back to the streets. Back to the streets. Oh yeah, he knows better. He knows better. But I think it's crazy because even when we say things like that, like, who knows? Like, I may talk all this shit and it happens again or something like that, and I end up like, it's like to each his own. So I say that to say, like, listen, no one's perfect. And at the end of the day, if you have forgiven a cheater, we're not here to judge you or call you a mensa. It's funny because I was that person that used to talk shit about people who forgave until it actually happened to me. Same thing with like how I told you about my brother, how he, didn't want to date people with kids. And I was like, hello, bro. Like, I'm a single mom. Like, you're basically dissing me, But at some point I agreed with him and I was like, yeah, fuck that. Don't be dealing with no bitches who have kids. Like, fuck that. They got baby daddy issues. And like, when I became a baby mama, unfortunately, obviously not by choice, like, you change, you know what I'm saying? You grow and you realize, like, I can't talk shit when, bitch, I'm the person I was talking shit about, And so, yeah, it's growth. It's beautiful though.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that a lot of times we beat ourselves up for being forgiving and for just trying to do the right thing. I think a lot of times we do the right thing, but we also end up damaging ourselves, if that makes sense. So I, like you, had forgiven many times, and in the long run I ended up being very resentful. I was there, but my heart was somewhere else. Like I was there physically, but I know even mentally sometimes I had checked out, and we had talked about this in the last season. And it gets really hard to know those boundaries, and like when is enough and when is it time to let go. Because like I said, this, obviously this was like 20 years ago. I was a teenager. I was just, learning about the world and how it operates. And I think looking back now, of course, that guy, he was an amazing guy. I still have so much love for him. And do I regret doing that? Yes. But at the same time, I needed to live and learn,
I can't
and
believe you walked your ass to that bathroom.
girl, I was like, where's the bathroom?
I can't because like that's like the perfect way I would catch a cheater. I swear. It's just like you notice like little things like that. You're paying attention, and that comes from being paranoid of getting cheated on, because you've been betrayed.
Yeah, he was on it. He was like, how did you know where the bathroom was? I was like, yeah. So I told on myself, and that's the thing about cheating or cheaters.
Yeah.
You end up telling on yourself. So like one of my techniques, honestly, I flipped.
Pro tip, tell them, Angie, what is it?
You basically just, okay, this is probably really crazy to admit, but I have basically made up something and been like, well, my homegirl told me she saw you at so and so, and then they'll be like, when? Girl, right there, I already knew you were there. You were there.
You know what? I just saw that. Where did I see it? It was from a private detective. Is that what they're called? The ones that go, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Private. Okay, so he was giving out red flags on how to find out if your partner's cheating on you, and he actually said that. He said if you allow them to speak and just sit back and throw things here and there, they will eventually tell on themselves. And that's actually the perfect way to do it. Like you said, you fucking just threw it out there, and he was like, wait, and there's little questions like that. I'm gonna send you that later so that we can learn a little something, because I didn't finish watching the whole thing. But basically, yeah, if you allow them, they eventually tell on themselves. But you got to throw like the perfect question or the perfect suggestion, even based on how they answer back to you. Like, I mean, how they answer like with another question. If they hit you with another question, it's another red flag. So basically that's how you do it, huh?
Yep. And then I think obviously honestly, I feel like at this point in my life, cheating is just so stupid. Like, listen, if you just want to go be with somebody else, just say that.
Say that. Or hey, if you want to be fuck buddies, 9 times out of 10, the girl probably is down with that more than if you fucking cheat on her. Then you ain't never gonna get that pussy again. So you might as well just be honest. Yeah.
Be honest. Just let me know how you're feeling, and we can go from there. We can decide if we want to do it together. So
exactly,
we're grown, so let's make these decisions together if we're gonna be together. But I think that after even witnessing some of this, actually, I got some good cheese med the other day. I won't say any names. So basically, it's a couple that I've known for a very long time. And the wife was cheating on the husband, and she ended up getting an STD. So
this is why you shouldn't cheat, because them STDs are out there. They're out there.
And this was something that she could not hide. We'll just put it that way. Wow. So now it got to the point where thankfully the husband didn't catch it, but she was so madly in love with the guy that
the Sancho
side guy, that she basically like left him, and it's so sad because this guy's like such a good guy. And so that's why I said it ain't just men that cheat, it's women too. And like I admit it right now that I've been guilty of it, and like technically we weren't together, but technically we were. So I do feel bad because there are some really good men out there that also get cheated on. But like I said, I think witnessing the aftermath too, because I hate to use celebrities as an example, but let's say Beyonce and Jay for an example. Like, they've the whole situation with him cheating, and then they worked it out. And then I feel like, maybe they were in a better place. So I've been in a situation in the past where I got cheated on.
Yeah.
We worked through it and we actually got through it and we were okay. It was just other things that were the issue. And I think that's why I said cheating isn't the worst thing. Is it wrong? Yes, but it's not the worst thing. I think for me personally, what hurt me the most is them actually having a relationship with somebody else. Like there's one thing, it's a slip up, but you actually like are paying for this homegirl's bills and you actually have a whole like life with this person, and the whole time you were still with me too. So that's something I can't forgive. That's something that
that's true.
Yeah,
that's like you're taking it to the next level. But that's actually the same reason why most men, and I know this because my man has told me this, most men can't handle women cheating because they say when we emotionally cheat is worse than, he's like, most men when we cheat it's just fucking, right? And by the way, when he said that, I think I almost slapped him. I'm not sure if I did.
Girl.
I'm not sure if I did, but anyway, he did. He basically said that, right? But I've been open about, my situation with my man. Like he's done shit that he shouldn't have done, and I can't sit here and be like, I have done shit too. Cause no, I fucking haven't. I've been a good fucking girl for a very long time. Okay.
Yes, she has. There you go.
I sure have. And even when in the times that I had the right to, I still was too pussy to do it, but that's neither here nor there.
Do it.
No, but that is one of the things, like it's fucked up, man. Cheating just sucks, obviously, for the other person. And then it also like mentally fucks with them forever. Like you're never, I mean, maybe not forever, but it is damaging to the point where you have this wall for the next person built, like where you don't allow them to even get to know you fully, or to, know some of your characteristics or the way that you are, if you're tender, if you're loving, because you have this fucking wall from the last fucking cheater that did it to you. You know what I've talked to you about this over and over again as your homegirl, of course, how you aren't allowing men to fully get to know you because you're so damaged from the past. And at this point, I feel like, again, we're no experts, but I feel like an expert would say something like, maybe you shouldn't be out there moving on with the next if you know what I'm saying? But what did I say though? I say it takes one to get over one. And so I'm not an expert, but as a friend, it does help,
Yeah, I think for me, honestly, I've had to have those hard conversations with myself. Like, listen, girl, you out here just getting more damage. You're just getting hurt after situation after situation. And the common denominator was always me. So I had to like do that shadow work and understand, why is it that I keep getting hurt in these situations?
Yeah.
So I really came to the understanding that I kept carrying on what was going on from my marriage to my next relationship and to my next relationship.
And so it's understandable.
Right. And it is hard if you don't give yourself time to heal, which what I've been working on for the last year, like really, really working on in the last year, I've fully been focused on healing myself because I understand the bullshit that I even brought to the relationship. I'm not going to sit here and act innocent. Like, yeah, I never did nothing to these guys. Like, listen, I've been a headache to some of these guys. Okay. But in the same sense, they've hurt me as well. It's, it's I actually read this really good book. It's called The Mastery of Love. And the author is actually a Mexican author from Mexico. His name's Don Miguel Ruiz. Yeah, Ruiz is his last name. So in it talks about how basically it's like poison. When you're hurt and you pass along that poison, somebody else takes that poison in and then they pass it along to the next person. And then the next person. So that was basically my cycle that I was in. And thankfully I've been able to recognize that and pull myself away from it. But it's crazy how much that shit still haunts me at times. I'm not gonna lie, for the last few nights, it's so weird. I don't know why, but I've been dreaming about my exes and I'm like, these motherfuckers don't even leave me alone in my sleep.
Like, for real, can I get some peace? Like I go to sleep to try to relax for a little bit, and y'all motherfuckers want to be in my dream.
Yeah. So, and I think it's because I ain't been smoking, but basically it's like weird because I literally wake up with my heart pumping super fast and I'm like, shit, am I having like an anxiety attack in my dream because these motherfuckers are like popping up in my dream again? So I want to look into that. But honestly, it has been a lot of work on my end to release a lot of the things that I experienced in those relationships. And again, some of that, if not most of it, was my fault for sticking around, knowing damn well what the end result was going to be. I was going to end up hurt. So
you didn't know. Give yourself a little loving, because technically
Yeah.
you were in that position where, and we've all have at some point done this, where we think it's gonna get better, or we think that you're gonna be the one to change him, right? Or to make him
Right.
better, right?
Right. But I love me some red flags, girl. Them red flags be fine to me. I'd be like,
They'd
"Ooh,
be like,
guy,
I
he's so
know.
he's tall, dark, and handsome, tattoos,
Yeah.
living with his baby mama, all that. I love that."
Girl,
So,
boy, listen, red flags don't discriminate, okay? They could be chaparros, fucking ugly. They could be white, yellow, pink. Cheating does not discriminate. That's the unfortunate part, but it
okay.
is a matter of how you react to certain things. And
Mhm.
now you react differently. You'll still bust the windows at the car every now and then, you know what I'm saying, if you have to. But to each his own. At the end of the day, listen, we're not here to be perfect, but we definitely can be toxic. And those toxic traits come from not having the inner peace yet, or also when you feel like you've become a better person, you've grown, and then someone tests you, someone that you've allowed into or over that wall that you have built, and then they fuck it up. You know, it's so sad, because I was watching Demi Lovato's documentary where she's talking
Mhm.
about her near death experience, where she talked about how she got engaged, and then shortly thereafter they broke off the engagement, and she said something that just hit. She was like, how can I allow myself to give my heart to someone else when I just went through that? And she's pouring, like crying. She's like, how can I ever give myself to someone else, give my heart out to someone else when I'm experiencing this ugly pain of whatever betrayal she went through? And it
Mhm.
sucks, because you think about that every time you have a breakup, even with a friendship, you're like, fuck you become closed in, because you don't want to feel that pain again of like suffering. And that's where you were at for a very long time, where you weren't
Mhm.
allowing yourself to open up to these men or allow these men to come in, because you
Right.
were not wanting or ready to, or even mentally prepared to deal with that pain again.
I was super guarded, super, super guarded. But I think that there's, a balance in all that. Like knowing how to make somebody, well, not make somebody, but allow somebody to earn your trust.
Yep.
It's, there's one thing, because I always hear guys, well, I trust you. And I'm like, but you don't even know me like that.
Mm,
So
mm,
why would just off the bat, I tell them straight up, don't just trust me off the bat. Like I gotta earn your trust as you need to earn my trust.
yeah.
And I think that that's where we mess up a lot of times is we think, well, let's just give people the benefit of the doubt, but we ignore all the red flags and the things that ultimately end up hurting us. So I don't know if you can like kind of sit back and think, well, did I see the red flag back then, and did I ignore it? Yes, most of the time we do. We ignore it for whatever reasons. A lot of the reasons for me, it was I already invested into this. I don't want to start over. I don't want to deal with
Yeah.
another person. I don't want to, just collect another body. Like I was willing to put up with some bullshit because I just didn't want to start over again. And I think that that's what happens with a lot of people is we don't want to start over again. And but
Mm-hmm.
like I said, again, people make mistakes.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And if somebody is able to recognize their mistake and change, I applaud them because it takes a lot on their end as well to change and to
Yeah.
recognize, where they
Yep.
messed up. But what I'm not gonna do is sit here and be your fool. That's what we're not.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we ain't going to do this over and over again.
Mhm.
I saw on it was probably TikTok or Instagram, I don't know, but this girl said when it comes to dating, she said the red flags are always there, like you just mentioned. She's like, it's crazy because when you start dating someone, your idea of what a great man is, or how the excitement of dating or starting over is it blinds you to the red flags. She's
Mhm.
like, stop going into dates thinking that this is exciting, this is fun. Start paying attention to the red flags that you may come across later. And then if
Right.
you see them and you're open to seeing that, then you will recognize that you're just wasting your time, as opposed to just having fun because it's just fun right now, or you're just dating, or you're just like, let's be honest, a lot of us date when as we're older, because we actually want to settle down. It's not just you
Right.
just want to fuck. You want to date someone that could potentially be your future, right? You're not just wasting your time. And then there's also dating where you just want to smash or whatever. But in most cases, like people want to find their partner. They want to find their man, their women, their whatever, you know? And
Yep.
so she's like, if you allow yourself to see that when you're dating, then you will be able to spot the red flags. But if you go into it thinking this is fun, this is new, I have my guard up, so I'm cool, you're only gonna see the fun part. You're gonna
Mhm.
like talk about the little petty stuff, like what kind of drinks do you like? Where do you like going for fun? What's a hobby? She's like, ask the real questions and see the red flags for what they are. She said she was
Mhm.
talking to a guy who in the beginning everything was fun. They were dating, they were going out, and then like shortly thereafter it was time
Mhm.
for them to like link up again. And he always had an excuse. He said the first time they set up for the second time they set up for a date,
Mhm.
he had to reschedule because his homies wanted to go out the night before, so, or that same night or something like that. So she's like, all right, whatever, we'll reschedule. the
Mhm.
next the next weekend to go out again, they had said, okay, we're gonna go out here, and something about him being hungover, so he hits her up and talking about like, I don't feel like we should go on a date because I'm hungover. So she's
Mhm.
like, I realized then, why the fuck are we even trying to do this when you don't even want to have the energy to make time for me? So she's
Yep.
like, at that moment, I just cut him off. I was like, obviously, we're on two different pages. Let's just let it go. And it's true. She recognized that instead of saying, like, oh, I really want to fuck. I really want to see him. I really want to get to know him. She recognized that even though he fine as fuck and they did get along and they had a lot in common, he just wasn't in the same page as her. So why continue to put myself through that when I can see the red flag instead of,
Yep.
putting it away when then going back years later or after you get played talking about, man, I should have seen the red flag, which is what most of us do, right?
Yep.
Man.
Speaking
That's
of, so I actually came across this video on TikTok. I'm gonna play it a little bit. We'll have our homie insert this into the video. But let me play it just so you can hear it.
There's a woman that men cheat on. The first type, the woman who has no boundaries. For that one, anything goes. We don't know what we can and what we can't do, so we just do it all. Number two, the woman who thinks and acts like she needs a man. See, that woman is afraid of being lonely, so therefore she takes anything, and she keeps giving us chances. No matter what you do, she takes you back because she wants a man. She needs a man. She's not complete without a man, so therefore she's a good one to cheat on. She ain't going nowhere anyways. And number three, a woman who falls in love with potential. That woman waits. She waits around thinking that he's going to change. She sees the good in him, so she hopes that the good comes out sooner or later. And while he knows that, he's doing his thing. She's a very easy target. Think about it.
wow.
So he basically broke down the 3 types of women that men cheat on. Now, I did share that with a couple of my guy friends, and they were like, "Nah, that's some bullshit." I would say, from a woman's perspective, I agree with him because I've been all 3. I
I was
have.
gonna say same at some
Yep.
point.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm.
So I just feel like there's some truth to that because I've been the one that has no boundaries, that forget. In my head, I'm forgiving because I love you and I want this to work out. But in their head, it's, oh,
She'll
pendeja, I'm
forgive
gonna
me.
do it again. Yep.
Yep.
Even if I do it again, even if she catches me,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna let me slide because she let me, she might make me suffer a little bit. She might make me kiss her ass a little bit, but at the end of the day, she's cool with it. Basically, that's the message that you're giving when you
Yeah.
continue. Again, I don't want to give the wrong impression of like, and if you are at that point in your life where you say, you know what, if a man cheats, I'm gone. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's your boundary. For me, like I said, it's a little deeper than that. I think, again, people make mistakes. I'm guilty of it. I've done it. So I'm a little more understanding if a man were to make a mistake, and vice
Yeah.
versa. I would hope if I were to make a mistake, because nobody's perfect, that he would forgive me. But there's also, there's boundaries. There's character as well. A lot of times we ignore somebody's character and we think, oh no, they won't do that to me again. They love me too much. Listen, if it's embedded in somebody to be a dog, they're gonna be a dog, and that goes for
Yeah.
both female and male.
You know what's unfortunate too about the first one that he said, which is this one, obviously, where the man knows that you're gonna forgive, so they don't mind doing it again. a lot of our traditional parents and growing up back in the day before social media, before all of this, a
Mhm.
lot of folks stay together. Our tios, our parents, our grandparents, they stay together because of that. Because most of the time, the women would forgive and they knew that they would forgive. So they would continue doing it. I have so many cheating ass tios, and my grandpa was a man. So all of that comes from them knowing that they're going to forgive. So why
Right.
not do it again? We'll just ask for forgiveness, you know? And it's
Mhm.
unfortunate, but I feel like he's right. I know, like you said, some of your boys said that. I would like to hear what, our male listeners feel or how
Mhm.
they feel about that, because it sounds pretty fucking accurate. Those
Mhm.
are the type of women that get played, unfortunately. And if you
Mhm.
notice, a lot of them are tender and loving and wanting to have a relationship. And a lot of the times you and I have been open about how we have stayed in situations because of the fear of being alone, or not wanting to deal with being alone, for whether you're a parent or you're not. Like with
Mhm.
us, I think it came from the fact that we became young parents and got
Mhm.
played, and we didn't want to do that again. Like we didn't want to have kids. Like I didn't want to have multiple baby daddies. Nobody wants to
Right.
deal with that,
Yeah.
and
Because our
so
parents are both together. Like, like me and you,
Mhm.
our parents, because they've been together for so long, they've set that example. And it hurt me.
Yeah.
I think it hurt me more to not have a family than for us to like not be together, if that makes sense. It was more for me.
Yes. Yep.
I wanted to have my family. And still
Yep.
now that's a big deal to me. When
Yeah.
a guy, trust me, these guys be like, yeah, I'm gonna get you pregnant and we gonna have a baby. And I'm like, I don't do that. I'm not gonna push so hard for marriage, but I
Mhm.
definitely want a family. You're not
Yeah.
just gonna sit here and get me pregnant and think that, I'm gonna be a baby mama number 5. Like, no,
Yeah.
that's not the way
Yeah.
it works. But I think that because me and you, we really wanted that family, we were willing to almost turn a blind eye to shit. And I think a lot of people have done it as well.
And you don't want to admit that because you don't realize you're actually doing it until you look back now and you're like, why the fuck did I deal with that? But I think it has something to do with the fact that because our parents have been together and are still together, we want to make sure we have that. I have beautiful memories and holidays and birthdays and stuff because my parents were together, right? And so
Mhm.
we want to, I think mentally we wanted to have that for our kids. So our priority was keeping the family together, not I just don't want to be alone. It's you wanted to keep your family together, and nobody wants to be a baby mama. That's why, like, when people talk shit about baby mamas or baby daddies, 9 times out of 10, they don't want to be put in that situation. Obviously, a lot of the times too, they try to make it work. Even people who get pregnant instantly or right away and they just met and they're trying to make it work. Like even those people
Mhm.
try to make that family work. So that's why it's like when you have judgment on people, it's like it really shows how you are as a person, because fucking nobody's perfect and everybody's issues are different. Some are big and some are small, but at the end of the day, they've affected the way they live because of those issues or because of those mistakes. That's why I always say I got daddy issues and my daddy's been in my life my whole life, like shit's
Same.
different for everybody.
Yep.
But I do have a pro tip on how to catch a cheater. Actually, we should make this like a little fucking segment because there's been many ways, and oh man, I have stories. I don't know if I ever told the story on here yet about the time that I caught my dude trying to be with one of my homegirls, and I played him so well that she was in my house. I didn't do that one. Okay, I'm gonna do it another day. But she was in my house, and he gave me a whole reason why he had to leave my house because I had her text him from the inside of my house, text him to come over, and this fool left like this or wanted to leave like this to
Oh
go.
my
Yeah. And he came up with this is how quick they are too. Can you just imagine? Like he gave me a reason. He laid it out. And if I had not known that it was my one of my best friends inside texting him, I would have really believed that, oh, he's gonna go and do what he has to do. Like, nah, this motherfucker was cheating on me. So I'm gonna tell that story another day. But we got pro tips. So ladies, this is just one that I've used. Okay. If you are suspicious of your man or you doubt your man, hey, this is for both men and women, by the way. If you're dating a woman, hey, check this out, okay? check their blocked list. And by blocked, I mean not just on social media, but check their block list on their actual phone, because that will tell you a lot. If you don't know the numbers that are blocked on there, 9 times out of 10, it's for a reason. Been there,
Now
done
you're
that.
making me check because I have hella block numbers on mine.
Yeah, but you have blocked some people. I actually remember you blocking someone for another person out of respect for another person. So,
Yeah.
so it goes back to what I'm saying. You blocked it for a reason, and the same goes with men that are cheating, women that are cheating. If you check that block list, it'll give it to you. This is how I caught one of mine's too. So I checked his block list on, I think it was on Facebook or Instagram, one of those. And I took a screenshot because I knew the first thing he was going to do was deny. And then, yeah, and then call you crazy by showing you, what are you talking about? I got no block, blah, 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 blah. Say no more, sir, because I have it right here. Exhibit A, your ass was with Trina, the sperm cleaner. Just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm saying is check the block list. And then also, if you check on the block list on their actual phone, so like their phone, not just a social media page, you can actually call that number through either your block number or use your mom's number, your sister's, or whatever. Use their phone and they're going to answer. And then you're going to get to figure out who this person is talking to, or who or why they blocked this person. And then if you want to play the woman to woman, where, you know what I'm saying, you have that conversation to reel the girl in so that she can give you information as to why she's blocked on the phone. I'm just saying, when you check the block list, you're going to find some shit. If they're doing it.
Never thought about that. I even never thought about that. Ooh, I'm gonna say
girl.
Time.
Yeah, girl.
Well, hopefully I never have to use it. Honestly,
I know. Yeah.
This is why I've been chilling, because I don't want these kinds of headaches. I don't want to be chasing after somebody and worrying about what they're doing and who they're doing and who they're doing it with. Like, no, thank you. But don't
let that discourage you, Ange, because I told you, your Prince Charming is out there somewhere. You just y'all just haven't seen each other.
To this. Yep, he's listening to this and he's like, this bitch crazy, but I love her anyway.
This bitch is crazy, but something about her I just really, really like. But that's the thing that I think too. This is why I always tell you, allow yourself to be available, because when you're entertaining dudes that you know that they're no good for you, you know there's no future there, you know there's nothing, no potential there, but you're keeping them entertained because you ain't got no one else that you owe your loyalty to. When you do things like that, you don't give yourself not time. You don't allow yourself to be found by someone who's actually interested, someone who's maybe seeking the same things you are, because you're too busy entertaining a dude that you know is no good for you, you know?
Yep.
So
yep. I've learned to chill on that too, but I'm trying to think of a tip that I would give somebody.
What you got? Give us a pro tip for them cheaters.
A pro tip. Let me see. Something that's always worked for me.
Yeah, what has worked for you?
I think that maybe, oh gosh, this is so crazy. I can't even believe I'm gonna like say this, but honestly, you can always tell a pattern by like their communication with somebody on social media. So I've been able actually to catch like, okay, maybe they're not DMing, or maybe you don't have access to their social media, but look at the comments and look at the likes. I hate that I'm even saying to dig that hard. Okay. But if you constantly see somebody always liking their stuff, always commenting, and of course I've caught the like eyes, the little heart eyes, and then I'm like, who's this bitch? And then what ended up happening in my situation was I noticed she was doing that, and I was like, okay, he's an entertainer, I get it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But then this specific chick was looking at my stories, because my page is public. So she was looking at my stories, and I asked him, I was like, hey, why is this chick always checking my stories? I see you guys follow each other. Oh, I don't know. Okay, deny. Later on, I found out some stuff, and to this day still denies it. But I'm like, don't listen. A woman's not gonna be sitting here going out of her way to check who I am if she didn't have some interest in you, or if she had bad intentions. So whether you had bad intentions or not, I don't know. But what I do know is you were trying to hide and cover up what her intentions were, so that I wouldn't.
Yes.
Yep. So whether
and you actually ended up being right, because after you cut ties with him, remember, he happened to be more open with her, and you actually caught on to the fact that he was kicking it with her. So it went from you got nothing to worry about, this is you're tripping, blah 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 blah, to fast forward after you guys stopped talking. Funny how you guys got closer to the point where now you're posting her on your stories.
He was posting her.
Yep.
And she posted him on her page and all that.
But that wasn't happening when you guys were dating. Why? If it's just a friend, why weren't you doing it then?
Exactly. And I think that I obviously putting two and two together, I realized that. But another tip, the way I was able to look at her stuff, because her stuff was public, but I didn't want her to know that I was looking at her stuff. So right after I would look at her stories, I would block myself. So basically blocking.
Damn.
Yeah. So basically, if you block somebody or if you block your account from that person, then they can't see that you looked at their stories. So I was like, this bitch ain't even smart enough to do that. If you want to look at my shit, look at my shit. But basically, she knew that I was with him. She knew that we were in Miami at one point together. Like, she knew all of that because she was looking at my stories. So I was purposely doing stuff so that she knew that I was there, with him, but she didn't care. She didn't care now.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I agree with this pro tip. I think that there is a way that you can find someone like that. However, it's a little risky because you can come off wrong too. There's potential for you to actually be wrong. And the only reason why I say this is because me being in the public eye, like it would be crazy to assume that every guy that does the hard eyes on my DMs, on my comments and stuff, like then my man will be like, man, you must be cheating with all these motherfuckers, right? But it's like it's different because I'm in the public eye, so I do get that often. So when it comes to entertainers, it is harder to catch someone like that, but you already just had your feeling. It's that gut feeling, man.
Yeah,
that was what gave it away. You had that feeling with this specific person because there was other women that had given the hard eyes and given this and that, but you knew something just wasn't right. However, another thing too, I wouldn't be able to check. Like, I never check who sees my shit. It's very rare. If I do, I don't, it's hard to keep up with that,
Yeah. So if you go to the bottom of your followers, like let's say, okay, the first part of the people who have viewed your story usually are the people that you follow and you guys, you're friends. But if there's people on the bottom part that you don't follow, that's when you can kind of recognize like who,
Angie out here being a pro. Okay.
But I will say this though, it's risky whether it's they do your tip or my tip.
Yeah.
That if you get caught doing this stuff and he's not even cheating or she's not even cheating, you're gonna look mad dumb.
Yeah, you're mad crazy.
So dumb. Yeah.
But that's a risk that we're gonna let you guys take if that's what you want to do. Now we're giving you a disclaimer. These are definitely toxic vibes. We're toxicas as fuck, but this is what's worked for us. And we always say we speak through experience because it's something that we've done. So we're not out here telling you to be crazy. We're just hinting it. So if you happen to be listening to this and you already had like a gut feeling, ladies, I'm pretty sure this is your sign. I'm just saying this may be your sign.
There you go. And if you do go above and beyond to find out if he's cheating and you find out he or she is cheating, please don't go back. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your life, but if you do all of that just to find out if this person is cheating, and then you find out they are, and then you both sitting there looking stupid because you were digging and he, or she was doing their thing. It's like, if you're going to be doing all that all the time, you might as well just be open. You might as well just be
That's
open.
true. That's true. But then again, because we've been in that situation, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we're only telling you because obviously we fucked up and we were young and dumb enough to do that. So try to, like, if you're going to go to the extent of doing all this research, you might as well just walk away from that. Now, is it easy? No breakup is easy. No walking away from situation is easy, but that's just like, why, if you know that this is just how he is, and then you also know just based off like the conversations, like how they're talking to them, there's certain men that just don't give a fuck and don't feed into that. And you can easily see it in the messages. But if you see that they're hella comfortable with saying certain things to women, oh no, he's been doing this.
Yep.
So anyway, that's all we got for today.
You know what? I think next time we should talk about like how we've how we've maybe set somebody up to get caught, because I've done that.
What
I've
you mean?
definitely done that.
Wait, what does that mean?
I kind of think that he was cheating on his girl. I think he had a girl, and I think that he was cheating on her with me, but I wasn't too sure. So I basically set him up to make sure that whether he was or he wasn't, then she would find out. So I was more like, I don't know, sis. I'm really not trying to like do you dirty. So I don't really know what's happening, but I'm gonna leave this little clue right here. So if you find it, he's gonna have to explain himself. I'm not gonna explain. Yes. So we'll talk about that next time.
We are going to be diving into that. So that's another good one. Cause there's ways where you can set it up so where you can actually find him, or let the other girl, you're giving a scavenger hunt. That's what it is. It's a scavenger hunt. So we're going to dive into that. Cause I think you've done this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Angie has done this before. So we're going to dive into that. But in the meantime, thank you to everyone who supports us. Again, thank you for liking us, commenting, every share, every listen, every download. It does major for us. So continue to do so, please. And next week, we'll get into Angie's toxic ways. Until next time. Thank you guys. Bye.
Ciao.